Tonight's story is one that will spark something deep within you, a tale of hope, courage, and determination. Stay with us till the end, as we bring you The Fire in the Rain. Because sometimes, when everything seems lost, the flame inside us is just getting started. The Fire in the Rain, life lesson. Courage can survive even in the harshest storms. The rain had been falling all day. Not a gentle drizzle, but a relentless cold downpour that soaked through jackets and boots. The small American town of Elkridge, nestled at the edge of a pine-covered ridge, had nearly disappeared under gray clouds. The kind of rain that made you want to stay indoors, curled up by the fireplace. But 12-year-old Caleb stood out in the open fields behind his grandfather's barn. His shoulders hunched, his jeans caked in mud, and his jaw clenched tight. He had built something, a small wooden shelter, hand-nailed and proudly painted, something he had been working on for weeks. It was meant to be his own little fort, a place to think, to dream, to be. But now it was gone, flattened by the wind, soaked through by the rain. "Should have known it wouldn't last," he muttered bitterly. Just then, the barn door creaked open behind him. Granddad Roy stepped out, wearing his weathered old denim jacket and wide-brimmed felt hat. He didn't say anything at first, just stood there, eyes scanning the ruined structure, then the soaked boy beside it. "You build that yourself?" he finally asked. "Yeah," Caleb said, wiping at his wet face with a sleeve. "But it's gone now." Roy nodded slowly. "Looks like the storm came down harder than expected." "It's no use building anything if the world just tears it down," Caleb mumbled. Roy chuckled softly, stepping closer. "That's so? Come on, I want to show you something." Caleb hesitated, but followed his grandfather back toward the barn. Inside, the scent of hay, oil, and aged wood filled the air. At the far end of the barn was an old iron stove. Roy knelt and started building a fire. "You know," he said while striking a match, "when I was your age, I tried to light a campfire in a storm just like this one." Caleb sat on a hay bale, watching the small flame catch and begin to spread among the kindling. "I was stubborn," Roy continued. "Your great-grandfather told me it couldn't be done, said I should wait, but I wanted to prove something." "Did you light it?" Caleb asked. Roy looked up with a wry smile. "I got soaked. The matches wouldn't spark. Wood was wet. I sat out there for 3 hours trying. But then, I figured out something." He tossed a few thicker logs into the stove. "I realized it wasn't just about lighting a fire. It was about understanding how fire survives. It needs the right conditions, shelter, patience, and the right spark at the right time." Caleb's brow furrowed. "So, you failed?" "No," Roy said. "I went back the next day, found dry wood under the old oak, built a wind block with stones. I tried again, and I lit that fire, even with clouds above me." The flames inside the stove crackled, casting warm orange light across the barn. "I learned that just because it rains doesn't mean the fire has to die. You hear me, son?" Caleb didn't answer immediately. He watched the fire grow stronger. "But what if it's not just rain?" he finally asked. "What if the whole world feels like it's pouring on you? At school, at home, everywhere." Roy leaned back on the crate beside the stove, his gaze steady. "Then you find a place inside you that stays dry, a spark the storm can't touch. You protect it. you guard it. And when the time is right, you let it burn. That night, Caleb sat quietly by the fire, drying off, thinking about everything his grandfather had said. The next morning, the rain had stopped. The air was cool, and the ground still soft. But Caleb was already outside with hammer and nails, salvaging pieces of his fort. He didn't rebuild it the same way. He used stones for the base this time, found stronger beams, chose a new spot near the barn wall for wind protection. Roy watched him from the porch, sipping coffee, pride warming his chest. Later that week, when Caleb finished the new fort, he didn't say a word. He just lit a small lantern inside, watched its golden flame flicker, and smiled. Moral: the fire in the rain reminds us that life will often throw storms our way. Unexpected winds, relentless rain, and days that seem to wash everything away. But inside each of us is a spark, a will, a dream, a belief. And if we guard it with patience and courage, it can survive anything. Because some fires don't burn despite the rain. They burn because of it.